Happy Monday, Team Aaptiv. We are live. If you have not joined us for a mental health work through in the past, welcome. This is my absolute favorite way to start off every single Monday for the last, 5 weeks? I know this has been going on this is going into week 7. So 5 weeks, 6 weeks, who knows how many weeks anymore. If you're just joining and we have not met, my name is Katie Horwitch. I am a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm the founder of an organization called Women Against Negative Talk, and most importantly here, I am one of the coaches on Aaptiv. So if you're just joining, I see people coming in, make sure that you're waving, you're telling me where you are tuning in from. I always love seeing every single week where everybody is coming in from. We've had people from literally all over the globe. We've had people from South Africa, from Brazil, from Canada, from New Zealand. Awesome. I'm going to wave to some of you as you're coming in. Like I said, if you've never joined us for a mental health work through before, you are in for a treat. These mental health work throughs are different than workouts. They're work throughs. So there's no sweat involved. I just got my sweat on. If you have not sweat yet, Jamie's got your back at 1 p.m. Eastern time. But this is a sit-down mental, emotional exercise to start your week off on a proactive foot. So if you don't have a pen and paper, it's a great time to go get one. This is going to be up on Aaptiv's IGTV and on the Aaptiv Live YouTube channel. So you can check in later if you miss any of this. Awesome. I see so many people joining in from NOLA, San Francisco, aloha from Hawaii, Canada, hi Uli, Los Angeles, United Kingdom, New York City. Hello to my fellow New Yorkers. It's kind of gloomy out today, so I'm happy that we have something to, bring the sunshine to each other. Illinois, England, fantastic. So like I said, this is going to be living on the Aaptiv channel for the next foreseeable future because it's on IGTV now, and it's going to be on Aaptiv's live YouTube channel. So if you don't have a pen and paper, go get that right now. We've gone through a ton of different exercises on these mental health work throughs. Since we're going into, we're heading into, I guess it's going to be the end of month 2 of social distancing, quarantining, depending on where you are. That's a long time. So I'm going to start to bring back both exercises that we've done before to do a little refresh. And I'm also going to dive deeper and more specifically into exercises that maybe you've already done or maybe you've heard about elsewhere, but for whatever reason you're like, I don't know why this isn't sticking with me. First of all, something that I've talked about a lot on this channel and otherwise is the concept of giving yourself grace and space. So grace to feel anything that you're going through and everything that you're going through, and space to move through it at the speed that you need to move through it. As you're tuning in, definitely wave, tell us where you're coming from, and definitely tune in and check in the comments as this keeps going. I love interacting with you all on here. Something that I've been hearing a lot from the Aaptiv community and otherwise, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about falling off the wagon, right? This is a fitness and, healthy living term that we talk about a lot, no matter what time of year, no matter what's going on. Like we found a routine and we're super into it, and then something happens. Inevitably something happens because life happens. And we tell ourselves that we've fallen off the wagon or dropped the ball. Going into this mental health work through, I would love to plant the little idea seed in your brain that maybe there is no falling off the wagon. Maybe there is no dropping the ball. What if it's really about pulling your wagon over to the side to take a rest break or to get some water or to go to the bathroom, then getting back on the road? What if it's taking the ball and putting it down because it got really, really heavy and your arms just need a break for a moment to just breathe and be. And then the ball's there and you can pick it up. Because here's the thing, if we talk about falling off the wagon or dropping the ball, that assumes that we were on the wagon before or we were holding the ball before. So we already know how to do this thing. We know how to ride the wagon. We know how to hold the ball. Dropping the ball, falling off the wagon, those are things that, we can't really do because there's no falling off. There's no automatically forgetting how to do something. Maybe you're out of practice. Maybe you haven't done something in a while, but when you've gotten into a routine or a habit or a practice, once you've gotten that into your bones, your body and your brain and your heart are really, really smart. They're going to remember how to do that. So I would love to start this off with that thought. If you're out there, and I know that some of you are out there who are saying, gosh, I've fallen off the wagon these last few weeks. I've dropped the ball on all these emails and projects over this last month plus. I would love to hear from you and have you try shifting that phrase over the next week. When you're tempted to say, I'm dropping the ball, can you instead say, I'm putting the ball to the side? I fell off the wagon. My wagon was pulled over for a little bit. Whether you say it out loud or not, it doesn't really matter. It's just the mental reframe that matters. This all making sense to everybody? I feel like this is something that's resonating for a lot of people right now. It definitely resonates for me because our lives have really been jumbled up like marbles, right? I mean, we're grasping for the familiar, we're grasping for routines, and that's part of the reason why I love doing these Monday workouts, or work-throughs rather, and then workouts with Jamie after, because it gives a sense of routine and consistency, and it helps start our week off on the right foot. And I've been really, really grateful to be able to come on here and connect with you all like this. So speaking of gratitude, I want to focus on gratitude today. How many of you have heard of cultivating a gratitude practice? I feel like that's something that we hear about a lot, especially on Instagram, and people talk about it, like it's so easy to do, like we should all just be doing it and walking around like these little gratitude machines all of the time. Cultivating a gratitude practice, practicing gratitude, is tough. It's a practice. Now, we talked about this a little bit in the mental health work through about riding the wave and maximizing your high highs and low lows. And I talked about how when you are in a low, when you are below that neutral lifeline, and you are feeling sad, you're feeling anxious. Mary says, it's hard AF. It is hard AF. When you're feeling depleted, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling alone, it's even harder AF because you're not in that routine where it comes super easy. But the thing is, just like practicing a new language or a sport or a skill, we can't just practice gratitude when it's easy for us to practice gratitude, right? So let's say that you were going on a vacation. Oh my gosh, remember vacations, everybody? Or let's say you were going on a vacation and you were going to a country where you didn't know the language. So not only would you probably study up a little bit beforehand on the key phrases like hello, goodbye, thank you, where's the bathroom, stuff like that. But once you got there, you would practice the phrases that you know, and you would force yourself to try and figure out what the locals were saying so that you could have connections and you could feel a sense of community wherever you went. And it's sort of like that with gratitude. Even when you're in a situation where it feels a little bit uncomfortable and it doesn't come natural to you, it's important to practice gratitude anyway, because gratitude is a practice, like a sport or a language. And the best time, honestly, I believe, or the most effective time to practice gratitude is when it actually feels the toughest. Because like I say in my classes, the obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise. You can't rush the process because then you rob yourself of the reward. If you try and rush through to gratitude, it's not going to sink into your bones. You sort of need that tension, like on a resistance wheel on an indoor cycling bike, in order for that gratitude to really sink into your language so that you can use it no matter what. So this is when you get out your pen and your paper, and we're going to practice some gratitude. So I've got mine right here. I've got 3 different strategies. You can use all of them. You can use one of them. You can use 2 of them. You can use none of them and come back to this in a few weeks after you've thought about what we've talked about here today. So number 1, practicing gratitude. I used to do something back in the day when the social media platform of choice was Facebook. I used to do something that I called 3 things. This was in like 2007, 2008, and every single day in either the morning or the night, so to begin the day or end the day, and sometimes both if I was really feeling it, I would say, here's a little note, I would write 3 things that I'm grateful for, make me happy, or are joyful. So sometimes when we use the language, 3 things I'm grateful for, that can feel really limiting if we're not in the brain space to really be soaking in all of the effects of gratitude and really see it around us. So I like giving myself 3 different turns of phrase to help me find gratitude. So 3 things I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for, 3 things that make me happy, 3 things that bring me joy. You could even say 3 things I like. So giving yourself alternate language to help find the gratitude, that's one strategy. The second strategy, if you're feeling like you are struggling throughout the day to find gratitude or to come back to gratitude after you've found it, so you're having a hard time like remembering the moments that you were grateful for, I would suggest doing what Jeremy, my husband, and I did, and we started what we call an awesome jar. So you can take an empty vase, you can take a bowl, you can take a mason jar. I would suggest making it about like yay big. And you take Post-it notes or scraps of paper. You can even take old little shreds of junk mail and write on them. And every single day, you write something that was awesome during your day. Again, the turn of phrase. Awesome instead of the gratitude jar. It's the awesome jar. What was awesome about your day? And then what ends up happening, even if you write something every other day, even if you write 2 things a week, even if you write 5 things a day one day and 0 things the next day, then you can do this actually for the entire year. And what we started to do is on New Year's Eve, we dump out all of the contents of our awesome jar and we lay them out chronologically. And we've been doing this now for 16, 17, 18, 19. We've been doing it for 4 years. And I will say that this is something that has 1 trillion% changed the way that I perceive my entire life. And that might sound like a really hefty statement, but it's true. There's something really powerful about taking a piece of paper, writing down what was awesome. You write a date, the date is important, putting it into a jar, and then at the very end of the year, dumping it all out and reflecting on how awesome your year actually was. Because I think that a lot of us will get to the end of whether it's a week or month or a year, and we'll be like, oh gosh, this year just flew by, or what did I even do this month? Or going back to what we talked about at the beginning, I fell off the wagon. This is proof. This is proof of how awesome your life is and that those small things really do add up and make a big difference. So like I said, we do this for the year. I would suggest if you are really struggling right now with a gratitude practice, I would suggest maybe doing this per month, maybe even per week. So getting into the habit of finding the awesome things, and then at the end of the week, creating the routine, just like, we have the routine every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern of coming here for the mental health work through, creating the routine maybe on Sunday night of dumping out your awesome jar and looking at all of the awesome things throughout the week. And you probably will have some things in there that you forgot that you did. And that's the cool part, where we realize that there is awesomeness all around us. And sometimes it just doesn't stick mentally, but it sticks in our hearts and in our body. The body remembers. Now, the third thing, and this is one that I feel like I go to when I'm really struggling with gratitude and I'm really feeling at a low. I suggest finding the least common gratitude denominator. So, thinking of math, again, many of you have heard this. I was a musical theater major, not a math major, so I might be getting this a little bit wrong, but from what I remember from math, when you talk about a lowest common denominator, that is the smallest number that you can divide certain numbers by, right? There's got to be someone here who's really good at math. I'm being very vulnerable right now with my math skills. But lowest common gratitude denominator. Basically, I want you to find the smallest thing that flies under the radar in your life, in your day, in your surroundings. The smallest thing that brings you joy or gratitude. Uli says, let me get my math head on. Yeah, I know. It's been a long few weeks. I think that my math brain is underneath the bed gathering dust somewhere. So I want you to find the lowest common gratitude denominator, the tiniest thing, and then dwell on why you are grateful for that thing, what you like about that thing. And I would encourage you to go past, well, it just makes me happy. It makes me smile. Okay, well, what else? Why does it make you happy? Why does it make you smile? So what you can do is you could do like a minute gratitude break. And you can schedule this into your calendar on your phone or on paper if you're a paper calendar person. And you could schedule it in a minute. You can even set a timer if that works for you. And pick something around you. So I'm going to do it right now. I'm looking at a candle in the corner. I am so grateful for that candle. I'm grateful for that candle because the container, the glass that it's in, is really calming. I love the design of it. The candle smells really warming and sweet. The candle reminds me of a sense of home. The candle reminds me of my favorite coffee shop where I got it on the Upper West Side in New York City that I miss so much right now, and I'm so grateful that I have it at my disposal when all of this transpires and we're in what is our new normal, because right now is the for now normal, right? I'm grateful that I have that candle and it burns so bright that when I light it up at night, it adds a beautiful ambiance to our home. And then what might end up happening is you start to think of other things that you're grateful for in the meantime. So when I thought, oh, I light it up and it makes this beautiful ambiance in my home, it made me think, I am so grateful for our tiny 475 square foot apartment. And I'm so grateful how cozy it is. I'm so grateful for the natural light that comes in. You get the picture. So you go through and you find the tiniest thing that maybe you take for granted, maybe flies under the radar, and you dwell on why you are grateful for it, what you like about it, why it makes you happy, what are you thankful for. So we've got the awesome jar, we've got the 3 things, and we've got the lowest common gratitude denominator. Like I said, this is going to be on Aaptiv's channel on the IGTV tab, and it's also going to be on Aaptiv's Instagram lives that are all on Aaptiv's live YouTube channel. So go over there. This happens every Monday for the foreseeable future. I adore you all. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, of your week to come here and gather as a community. If you want to sweat, Jamie's got you covered in a couple hours at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I adore you. Make sure that you Find me on Instagram. I'm at Katie Horwitch, and let me know what this brought up for you. Let me see pictures of your awesome jars, or the little pictures of things that you're grateful for, the lowest common gratitude denominators. I had so much fun with you. I cannot wait to see you again. Move forward fearlessly, spread the good word, and be the you know you're meant to be. Bye-bye.